Star Wars. Maybe you've never seen it. Maybe you have seen a few, but you're not sure which ones you've seen. Either way, in our current cinema climate, it doesn't look like Star Wars is going anywhere. With its final saga film releasing in 2019, and a slew of anthology films and TV shows set to debut within the coming years, there's never been a better time to become a fan. Catching up with this fandom could be pretty time-consuming though, given that the current movie runtimes add up to nearly a whopping 21 hours worth of viewing, and that's not including the animated TV series either. If you wanted to get into the franchise, or at least touch base with where you left off, then don't worry, you're in luck. In this series of videos, I'll do a brief but in-depth run-through of each film so you can refresh your memory, or maybe just break the ice for whenever you decide to watch the films all the way through. Without further ado, this is Ace Maestro Video, my name is Austin, and this is a Star Wars movie breakdown. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, a large and powerful trade conglomerate known as the Trade Federation upsets order in the Galactic Republic by placing a blockade around a peaceful planet called Naboo in preparation of a full-scale invasion. Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi, two peacekeeping warrior monks known as Jedi, are sent by the Supreme Chancellor of the Republic to negotiate peace with the Viceroy of the Federation, Newt Gunray. What the Jedi and Republic aren't aware of, though, is that the Federation is actually under control by the mysterious Sith Lord Darth Sidious, who immediately orders the Jedi to be killed, followed by the invasion of Naboo. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are able to sense the incoming danger and split up and escape, finding their way to the planet's surface aboard the invading ships. Qui-Gon saves a clumsy Gungan named Jar Jar Binks, who leads them to a secret and isolated underwater city. Once there, Qui-Gon tries to convince the leader of the Gungans, Boss Nass, to aid the people of Naboo, but he refuses and instead offers them transportation to Theed, the capital of Naboo. They eventually reach the capital and Queen Amidala in time to rescue her and a few others and escape aboard her royal cruiser. During the escape past the blockade, however, the ship's hyperdrive is damaged, causing them to land for repairs on the lawless desert planet of Tatooine. Qui-Gon, Jar Jar, R2-D2, and the Queen's handmaiden, Padme, head into the spaceport settlement of Mos Espa in search of a replacement hyperdrive. They encounter a shopkeeper named Watto, who informs Qui-Gon he has the parts, but Qui-Gon's currency is actually useless in Mos Espa. Watto owns a slave boy named Anakin Skywalker, a gifted pilot and engineer despite his young age. To avoid an incoming sandstorm, Anakin invites the group to his home where he and his mother Shmi, who is also a slave, live. Qui-Gon takes notice of Anakin's talents, and after doing a blood test on him, discovers he is incredibly strong in the Force. So strong, in fact, Qui-Gon is convinced he is the prophesied chosen one who will bring balance to the Force. After discovering this, Qui-Gon bets his ship in exchange for Anakin's freedom on a pod race. Anakin enters the dangerous race known as the Boonta Eve Classic, despite never having finished a race before. Against the insane odds, Anakin wins the race and is freed from slavery. Qui-Gon uses the winnings to purchase the needed hyperdrive from a disgruntled Watto, and gives what is left over to Shmi. Anakin agrees to go with Qui-Gon to be trained as a Jedi, but has to leave his mother behind. Anakin vows to return and free his mother when he becomes strong enough. On their way to the ship, Qui-Gon is attacked by a mysterious figure who is trained in lightsaber combat. Qui-Gon manages to escape, and the group safely makes it to the capital of the Republic, Coruscant. Once there, Queen Amidala prepares to make her plea before the Senate, while Qui-Gon takes Anakin before the Jedi Council to ask if he may train Anakin to become a Jedi. The Council is concerned with Anakin's vulnerability to the dark side, given that they sense a great amount of fear in him, and refuse. Despite this, Qui-Gon decides to train Anakin anyway, and relieves his apprentice Obi-Wan from being his Padawan. Meanwhile, the senator for Naboo, Palpatine, urges Queen Amidala to push for a vote of no confidence in Supreme Chancellor Valorum, so a new and more efficient leader can be elected. The vote is successful, and soon after Palpatine announces he's actually running to be elected Supreme Chancellor. Despite this, Amidala grows frustrated with the Senate's inability to act on the crisis in Naboo, so she decides to return and resolve it on her own. The Jedi Council orders Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan to safeguard the Queen while in Naboo, and investigate whether or not the thought-to-be extinct Sith have returned, given Qui-Gon's encounter with the mysterious figure on Tatooine. Once on Naboo, Queen Amidala and company seek out the Gungans to ask for help. Padme reveals herself to actually have been Queen Amidala this whole time, using a decoy for her safety. Boss Nass agrees to help the people of Naboo and sends his army to fight for them. The Gungan army faces the droid army outside the city, drawing them away from the capital so that Padme can lead a squad to capture Nute Gunray. While in the palace hangar, Anakin accidentally activates a Naboo N1 starfighter and is launched into the space battle above the planet. Shortly after, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan encounter the hooded figure from Tatooine, Darth Maul, and initiate lightsaber combat with him. The Gungan forces are eventually overwhelmed and are forced to surrender to the droid army. Padme makes her way toward the throne room to capture Gunray, but instead she and her forces are surrounded as well. While piloting the starfighter manually, Anakin crashes inside of a droid control ship and struggles to regain control of his starfighter. During the fight with Darth Maul, Obi-Wan is separated from Qui-Gon and is forced to watch as Qui-Gon is overpowered by Maul and is mortally wounded. Once Obi-Wan is able to engage Maul in combat, he too is soon overpowered and hangs over a massive pit while Maul taunts him. In the throne room, Padme's decoy, still disguised as herself, lures away the droids while Padme is able to turn the tables on Nute and hold him hostage. Anakin regains control of his ship and fires 2 missiles on the inside of the ship, causing a massive chain reaction of explosions, which he himself narrowly escapes, thus destroying the droid control center. Down on the surface below, all the droids shut down and the Gungans are freed. In a swift movement, Obi-Wan catches Maul off guard by using the Force to jump from the pit, and then, grabbing Qui-Gon's lightsaber, cuts Maul in half, who then falls down the pit. Obi-Wan rushes to Qui-Gon, who with his last breath, asks Obi-Wan to train Anakin, claiming that he's the chosen one who will bring balance to the Force. Nute Gunray is subsequently arrested, and we learn that Palpatine has been elected as Supreme Chancellor of the Republic. Palpatine thanks Obi-Wan for its efforts in helping to take back Naboo, and tells Anakin he'll watch his growth with great interest. Obi-Wan meets with Yoda, where he allows Obi-Wan to train Anakin, but warns that he senses danger in the boy. During Qui-Gon's funeral, Yoda and Mace Windu discuss the nature of the Sith, Darth Maul, and wonder whether or not he was the Sith apprentice or the Sith master. In the capital of Theed, a huge celebration is thrown for Naboo's victory and the Naboo-Gungan friendship, where Queen Amidala presents a symbolic token of gratitude to Boss Nass. And that is the Phantom Menace, guys. If you like to keep watching this series, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I'm going to be putting out more videos just like this, and I might even branch into other series like the Marvel's Avengers or maybe the DC Universe. I don't know, but I love doing this. I'll see you guys next time.